I love Dwayne Johnson. I love Emily Blunt. I love Disney. I like the ride of Jungle Cruise. So it follows naturally that I would love a movie featuring all of those things, right? Welcome to another movie review. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews just like this one here at the weekend. In the description box you will find all of my social links, including my blog and my Goodreads, where I write reviews of most of the books that I read, and I will leave my movie reviews playlist linked up above in case you have missed any of my recent recommendations or perhaps mixed bag reviews. So yeah, you would think that I would love this movie, and I was fully prepared to love this movie. I don't know if my expectations were too high, but I came away from this movie with very mixed thoughts. I saw this movie at the cinema here in the UK, my return to UK cinema, very exciting. So I didn't see it in any like special enhanced format, but I did see it in one of the big screens. And so I feel like that's probably optimal for where we're at right now. Yeah, Emily Blunt, Dwayne Johnson were wonderful in this film, as was Jack Whitehall, who does not receive sort of any kind of major billing in this film. So for me, Jack Whitehall was hilariously funny. His character was really interesting and really diverse. We had some good rep in this film for a Disney film. And yet he's not kind of advertised as being in the film. You hear his voice in one of the trailers, and in one of the extended trailers that I've seen in the cinema, you see sort of his face once, but you kind of have to know that it's Jack Whitehall to know that it's him. I don't know why Disney didn't like give him higher billing. Paul Giamatti has a higher billing in the credits than he does, and yet he's only in very briefly at the beginning and the end, and is a very minor character. So it's really interesting that Jack Whitehall plays the brother of main character Emily Blunt and goes on the Jungle Cruise, and yet is not billed. So Jack Whitehall, big, funny, positive takeaway from the film, 100%. Like I say, Emily Blunt, Dwayne Johnson were great in this. The storyline. Now, I think that the writing in the film is excellent. The complexity of the story is very well written, and the humor is also very well written. If you are a fan of the ride, you can look forward to some of those dad jokes that you get on the ride, you know, thinking about the backside of water, etc., etc. Recommend watching the Behind the Attraction on Disney Plus for Jungle Cruise before watching the film, because you'll see some like extra little bits in there from having watched that. I made sure and did that before. But then the complexity of the writing, I think, makes the film suffer a little bit. I went to see this with my mum, and we both sat and said, yeah, initially at the start of the film, we were both a little bit confused about what was happening. It's well into the film where Frank, Dwayne Johnson's character, sits down and kind of explains the storyline. And then you're like, oh yeah, that's really clever. But if you were thinking that this is a family film that you'll be able to sit down and watch together as a family, I feel like not everyone in your party is necessarily going to be following along, and you may lose children in the first half an hour, really. I think it's that long into the film that we kind of don't really know what's happening. And so that to me is definitely, you know, very clever writing, but it makes the film suffer. I would also say that the film was way more violent than I expected it to be. You know, it's a Disney film. It's about a Disney ride that's one of the more gentle rides. It's fun for all the family. So I assumed that the film would also be fun for all the family. But now I'm saying that, I'm like, Pirates of the Caribbean, you can, you know, the ride is fun for all the family, but the film, I think, was, you know, overly violent as well. But yeah, this film was surprisingly violent. I didn't expect as much kind of action and violence as there was. I don't think that the trailer shows as much action and violence, because you watch the trailer and you think, well, this is just the highlights. These action scenes aren't going to be the entire way through the film, but there are a lot of action scenes the entire way through the film. There's also quite a lot of scary snakes, scorpions, spiders, things that can eat you, things that want to kill you, throughout the film. And so just a big warning sticker on this one. If you are thinking that this is going to be a fun outing for all the family, maybe take a look at the extended trailer and know that that's what the film is going to be like the entire way through. So the writing is clever, but I think it's just overly complex. The humour is very funny, and I did like the casting. I'm glad I saw it on the big screen because obviously we've got these images of the Amazon River and it's a jungle and there's lots of nature and lots of action, so it was good to see it on the big screen. Would I recommend you spending this week's cinema going money on seeing that? No. I would recommend you going and seeing Black Widow. I would recommend you going and seeing Space Jam over seeing this one. That's where we're at. I have my review of Space Jam. If you haven't already seen it, I'll leave it linked up above. It was a pleasant surprise, but I would rather go back and rewatch Space Jam than I would go back and rewatch this. And yet this has, questionably bigger names in it. It's got a Disney backing. It's based on a very popular ride. It should be better. On paper, it should be better, and it wasn't. I don't know if I went in with too high expectations, but I can't in good consciousness go, should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this? Should you pay Disney Premier money, like Premier access to watch it at home? Absolutely not. Should you wait until it comes onto Disney Plus and stream it then? Go ahead. Why not? It was nice to see it on a big screen, but it's not necessary. You shouldn't pay money to go and see this. I was a little bit disappointed, and if you are already considering going and seeing it, if you are taking children, please, please, please be warned. It's very violent. The complex storylines are long and winding, and so you may need to take something else to keep them occupied. You know your own children, but yeah. So yeah, bit of a controversial movie review this week. I am hoping to get out and about and see some more movies whilst I am back here in the UK. I'm also hoping to finally sit down and watch Lucas on Disney Plus. If you have seen that one, please do let me know. Am I going to like it? Do I need to stop everything and watch it right now? I will be back with another movie review for you next weekend. I do have some pre-films, so you will see different backgrounds in and out. And then I am hoping to get back to the cinema and see some more new releases very, very soon. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on those. And I will be back with more bookish content for you in the week. So I will see you then. Thanks for watching.